Find us online at shopwilkinsons.com or come in and see what's new. 88 East, 1160 South, just off Main.
Flynn Group plays to win. From commercial to residential projects, we deliver the total building envelope. Roofing, glazing, and architectural metals. Championship quality every time. Flynn Group, we've got you covered.
At Findlay Subaru, we win for our customers. From the first handshake to you driving off the lot, our team runs the perfect game plan every time. Score your next Subaru at Findlay Subaru, 1453 Sunland Drive, on the saving side of the freeway.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Fieldhouse, Crimson Cliffs High School, for exciting Region 9 basketball presented by the Boulevard here on the Fan Sports Network and on thefansportsnetwork.com as well as KSLSports.com. Glad you're with us. We think we've got the game of the week here tonight as we've got two leaders tied atop the Region 9 standings, Ben, and this one should be good. A little separation for somebody tonight as both these two teams come in 5-2 in region play.
Crimson coming off a tough defeat at the hands of Snow Canyon over in the Jungle on Wednesday night. Pineview, on the other hand, coming off a massive win against Dixie at home on Wednesday night. So these are two teams that have come off a couple different scenarios, but both are tied for first in Region 9, and we expected this at Media Day. We talked about it all season long. This was really a three-horse race for the region championship, and it's proved to be that way so far. But here's the problem now, Devin Dixon. After this week, it's only 2 weeks of the region season left. A couple of teams have 3 games in 1 week.
Yeah.
And so you can't afford to lose a game for either of these teams. Unfortunately, someone's got to win, someone's got to lose, and this is going to be a good one as both of these teams could win tonight in dramatic fashion.
It's going to be a battle, and we've got it for you on the radio and on the live stream. Pre-game, built by Bucks Ace Hardware and brought to you by the court specialists that feature Sport Court. They can build your outdoor volleyball courts, pickleball courts, basketball courts. They can turn your backyard into fun for the whole family year-round. And Ben, as we dive into it, we're going to get into some of the keys to the game. We're going to pick our Findlay Subaru Star Watch like we always do. We'll get the starting lineups and then the action. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, probably a little bit of pressure tonight on Crimson to protect their home court with that loss on Wednesday.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they started the first 3 games 3-0 and really had some separation on Dixie and Pineview, but a couple of losses now, one against Hurricane on this court, and then again Wednesday at Snow Canyon in the Jungle, which was a great, tough game there, great environment. Now the pressure has shifted a little bit to Crimson because early on it looked like maybe, who knows, they're going to maybe finish this season with 1 or 2 losses. Now they've already got 2, and they play Pineview this week, they have Dixie next week, and then they still have Hurricane and Snow Canyon. So we called it, I'm not trying to say, we're Nostradamus, but we anticipated that this was going to be just a photo finish to the region season the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I didn't think anybody would go winless. Cedar doesn't have a win yet, though. Almost Wednesday night. They lost by 3. Nobody's undefeated for weeks now. And the region champ really could have a tie with 3 losses with so many games remaining.
Yeah.
Now, the good news for Crimson tonight, maybe a little pressure, protect home court. They've lost 2 out of 3, like you said. But the number 2 team in the RPI is in their building. They win this, they are going to jump right back up into the RPI and be in really good shape in that stretch run that you just mentioned.
Yeah, right now, Pineview number 2 in that RPI. And I think, I think that Dixie matchup, it's interesting in the region. I don't think Crimson matches up really well with Hurricane. I think Dixie matches up really well with Hurricane. I don't think that Pineview matches up really well with like maybe a Crimson in some ways. And so I think it's going to be one of those games that you're going to see a little bit of nerves, Dev. You're going to see a little bit of feeling each other out, just like it was over at the pit to start the region season for these two teams. And so tonight, I expect some fireworks. I expect some good coaching from both of these guys, and I expect it to be determined on the hardwood down the stretch in the final moments.
And it was a game, you and Big E called that first game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's right.
Over at the pit.
Yeah.
Murdoch did have a really good performance. I think he had 24 or 26 points. They won 66-63. So Crimson does have a win head-to-head already under their belt.
Yeah, that was, again, but last year, Pineview swept Crimson swept Pineview, and then in the state tournament, the second round, it didn't work so well for Crimson. But I think these two teams, in terms of matchups, you have guys like Jelani Ojegba, you have guys like Caleb Schmidt for Pineview, and then they've got a really solid bench. And a couple of these guys could step in here any given night. You got the hot shooting of Cooper Ranson.
Yeah.
And then you move over to the Mustangs. And look, you got Eminem, as you've called them, Murdoch and Mack. But then you've got Britton Phillips, who had an incredible game. I think his best game as a Crimson Mustang, that 21 and 11 rebounds against Desert Hills. He's a guy they need to do the little things. You got to have the rebounds. You got to have the transition buckets. But who is going to be that other guy for this Crimson team that steps up defensively, that steps up with the little plays and knocks down that 8 to 12 points that they'll so desperately need?
Going to be fun. We've got it coming for you. They're tied for first, three-way tie with these two teams, Pineview Crimson, head-to-head meeting tonight. Dixie's out in the Tigers' Den. They're tied at the top of the standings as well. We'll have updates on that game, and we're streaming that game on the fansportsnetwork.com and our YouTube page as well as KSL Sports. So double dip, double the fun, high school hoops on a Friday night. We'll take a break. More of the pregame show when we come back. Stick around.
At Findlay Subaru, we win for our customers. From the first handshake to you driving off the lot, our team runs the perfect game plan every time. Score your next Subaru at Findlay Subaru, 1453 Sunland Drive, on the saving side of the freeway.
Your child's sports journey starts with the City of St. George Recreation. From their first steps on the court or field to becoming a star player, our youth sports programs are here to develop talents and teamwork skills. So get out and play. Check out all the sports and get signed up at sgcityrec.org.
Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
Hey, it's Luke with Udine Associates at American Family Insurance. At Udine Associates, we love insurance so you don't have to. With a quick call, we can get you an instant quote with the right coverages. My team of licensed agents are ready to help you with better insurance from American Family. Give us a call at 435-251-9102.
Hi there, Dr. Cody Johnson from Johnson Pediatric Dentistry. Just like any good sports team needs a game plan, your child's dental health needs one too. Call us or check us out online. Don't forget to ask for our new patient special. Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, keeping your kids' teeth in championship form.
From bold statements to subtle compliments, Wilkinson's House of Lighting will help you more fully enjoy all the different spaces in your home. Find us online at shopwilkinsons.com or come in and see what's new. 88 East, 1160 South, just off Main.
Flynn Group plays to win. From commercial to residential projects, we deliver the total building envelope. Roofing, glazing, and architectural metals. Championship quality every time. Flynn Group, we've got you covered.
You could wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that can make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks Ace stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the Field House. Crimson Cliffs and Pineview getting ready to lock in a Region 9 battle. Oh, we think you can expect the unexpected tonight. Alongside Ben Lindquist, I'm Devin Dixon. And the court specialist that features Sport Court bringing you our pre-game show. And they're also giving away another $5,000 scholarship to a local student athlete before graduation. We'll give that away in May. If you want to nominate your high school athletes, just go to thefansportsnetwork.com or thecourtspecialist.com. You got to have a 3.0 GPA, play one varsity sport, and tell us why you deserve it and how involved you are in your school, thanks to the court specialists at Sport Court. Let's get into the keys to the game. And the keys to the game, first for the home team, let's talk Mustangs. Keys to the game are brought to you by our friends at the City of St. George Recreation Department, inviting you to get signed up. Adults and youth sports signups for the spring sports season are underway. Get out and play with SG City Rec. Ben, for Crimson, what's it going to be tonight to get the dub?
I think out of the gate, this is something that's plagued them for the last 2 to 3 years. You have to take care of the basketball, and obviously that's a key for any team. But this Crimson team, when things go south, they go south quick and they get 2 or 3. They string them together. It's important to make sure that you get those extra shot opportunities and you don't have a run opportunity for the opposing team. Then you go to rebounding. This is something that when they've had good games, they've really excelled in the rebounding category. And then I really think, Pineview's going to face guard a Lindquist. They're going to double team Murdoch in the post. I think, you got to have those guys step up and play a great game. But I think it's going to be who is the third guy tonight is going to be the key for this Mustang team.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's a real short bench for Pineview, and Crimson maybe has a little deeper bench, but who will that guy be? I think you're spot on. In the rebounding, Pineview averages 27.9 rebounds a game. Crimson only 25. So I do agree with you there on the season average. Plus 4, that's big. That's a couple extra chances on offense or defense. Interesting enough, I've got Crimson coming in 8 turnovers, but we've called some games where there have been 15, 16, 17 turnovers, and those are some of the games they've lost.
Yeah, and that's the one hard part about the high school sports. There's some teams that, man, they got 2 guys behind the bench that update every single stat. Some of them rely on Huddle, the in-gym camera.
Right.
But a lot of these guys are only tracking really like threes and shooting. And so a lot of those stats just aren't laser accurate. But look, when we move over to Pineview, I think a couple of things stand out there. One, I think Jelani Ojegba, he's kind of the motor to this team, Dev. Just, if he can get some easy buckets, he's got a great eye for passing. Sometimes he actually overpasses it a little bit. But if you can kind of get him moving and get him into some spots, he's a guy you got to get going early and then get his confidence up. And I think Caleb Schmidt's the other guy that I think. So when I look at their 2 guys, we got to have those guys play well for this Pineview team to get going.
Yeah.
And then I think they've got to take care of the ball, but I'm not going to give that a key. Obviously, we said every team's got to take care of the basketball. I think for them, getting runs and sustaining them.
Yeah.
Because they had a couple of opportunities in that first matchup where it felt like they were going to pull ahead of Crimson into double digits, and they got that 6, 7, 8 point lead, and they just couldn't extend it from there. And so tonight, if they're going to want to win, they're going to have to go and sustain those runs and not let Crimson keep battling back and take leads and match them.
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep Jelani and Jegba in front of you because he gets downhill, gets the rim. He can finish with the left or the right. And he's got some size. He's kind of a mismatched problem. It's going to be really interesting to see if it's Britton, then Murdoch, maybe Leroy a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to be interested to see. We had Coach Resendez on the show this morning, the assistant coach at Crimson, and he said it's kind of by committee. He didn't want to give too much away, so he wasn't going to tell us, and I get it. But Jelani Ojegba had 23 in the first meeting. He's coming off 16 in that win over Dixie on Wednesday night, where a lot of trips to the foul line. So they'll need him. Coach Amico hoping he is fantastic tonight in hopes of getting the road victory. Those are your keys to the game, brought to you by the City of St. George. With that said, Ben Lindquist, who is your Findlay Subaru Star Watch? Who's the X Factor, and who do you think will be talking about the difference in the post-game show?
Yeah, I think going right back to Jelani, I think he really is the Star Watch guy. Not only is he athletic and explosive and can do some awesome things, but he also is a guy that passes the ball and gets their offense moving. He gets a lot of attention. I might give Cooper Ranson. He's just such a good shooter. I'll give him some honorable mention there. And then, I really think this is the hard part. It feels a little bit like some home cooking. But you got to have Murdoch and Lindquist. You need both of those guys to give you a solid game tonight.
Above their season average.
Yeah, I think so. Because the other night, the first matchup, Travis had a big game. Mac was soft. I think he still ended up with 11 or 12. But you're going to need those guys to perform above their standard tonight against a really tough Pineview team.
All right, Lindquist comes in 15.3, 4.7 rebounds, 3.1 assists. Murdoch comes in 15.6 and 5.6 rebounds a game. So they're collecting a lot of the stats there in those main 3 statistical categories. So we'll go with those as your Findlay Subaru Star Watch. We're going to take a quick final break for our national anthem. When we come back, House of Jump starting lineup and the tip. It's a Region 9 battle. The Mustangs hosting the Panthers live on the Fan Sports Network and streaming on the fansportsnetwork.com.
You could wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that can make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks Ace stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
At Findlay Subaru, we win for our customers. From the first handshake to you driving off the lot, our team runs the perfect game plan every time. Score your next Subaru at Findlay Subaru, 1453 Sunland Drive, on the saving side of the freeway.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out, with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
Everest, K2, and now the Mountain by Mountain Mike's Pizza. The mountain-sized pizza is a massive 20 inches wide, delivering 20 slices and a mountain of toppings. Order yours now by using our mobile app.
Asphalt, we don't often think about it, but we use it every single day. Holbrook Asphalt's innovative HA5 product slows asphalt aging by 67%, making roads last longer and cost less to own. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
At Grass Creek Construction, they put their heart and integrity into every build. Their team is committed to delivering top-quality commercial projects that stand out. Integrity is their competitive edge. Building with passion, building with purpose, proud sponsor of local sports.
Back live here, great rendition of our national anthem by Michelle Francis and Capri Nielsen, and we are about to turn it over to Brian Young, the public address announcer here of the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs, and introduce you your House of Jump starting lineup. You can go jump in their indoor trampoline park. They have a great arcade. They have a golf simulator. You can hit some balls. They have great snack bar. They have private rooms for your kid's birthday party. They got tramps. You can dunk on hoops if you want to be a professional mascot someday. House of Jump. Check them out, houseofjump.com or 415 South Dixie Drive. All right, starters for the Pineview Panthers, coached by Pat Amico in his second season. Nate Tueller, number 12. Caleb Schmidt, who had a really nice game in the win against Dixie last night, led the way with 19. There's one of the best shooters in the region, Cooper Ranson, comes in average, and Ranson's right there at about 13.5 points a game. And then you got Jelani Ojegba and then Ethan Ott. They do have some injuries, so the bench a little bit shorter. We might see Summer and we might see Moody, and that's about it. On Wednesday night, those are the only 2 guys that even entered the game off of the bench for Coach Pat Amico. This is a big one for Pineview. If they get this one, they know if they can win 2 more games next week, they can at least get a share of the Region 9 title. Obviously, not cut and dry with Dixie and Hurricane tonight as well, with the Flyers at 5-2, just like the Mustangs and the Panthers. It'll be the typical same starting 5 for Crimson, I would assume, that's been all year, unless Coach Murdoch decides to shake it up a little bit, Ben.
Yeah, based on what I'm seeing down there, it looks like it has been shaken up a little bit.
Maybe a matchup.
I see. Let's see, Easton back, and we also see Trey Leroy on there.
Okay.
So it'll be Sands Reed and Will Hokinson, who will be the first off the bench, no doubt, for this Crimson team.
And Hokin's been a starter most of the year.
And it almost looks like maybe they're going for some size here, trying to go big.
Yeah.
And, to make sure rebounding was a problem Wednesday night over at Snow Canyon. I don't blame them for trying to go a little bit big here tonight and maybe protect against something like that.
So Easton back in the starting lineup, 7.5 points a game. Leroy averages 4.6. Britton Phillips, 10 and 5 rebounds a game. McKay Lindquist, 15 points, 4.7 rebounds, 3.1 assists per game. Also over 2 steals a game for Mack. And then Murdoch at 15.6 and 5.6 rebounds a game. And those are your Crimson Cliffs starters for this 32-minute battle for at least the winner. They're guaranteed at least a share as the number one team, or tied as the number one team after tonight.
Yeah,
and we're getting into crunch time.
And we haven't really even talked about what's happening across town. Of course, that's also on the Fan Sports Network, because we're doing it all on a Friday night, Devin Dixon. But over across town in the Tigers' den is Hurricane and Dixie, and that is going to be a tough game over there. I mean, Hurricane really, if they want to throw a Hail Mary here into this region season, they're going to have to beat the Flyers at home tonight.
I agree, and they lost in the hangar earlier in the season, 71-58. So they're looking for a little revenge and trying to split the head-to-head.
And if that happens, I mean, it kind of throws everything off once more.
Well,
and
Snow Cannon's playing great right now too.
Yeah, they really are.
Right now, Region 9 has 5 of the top 9 seeds in the RPI rankings right now. Entering tonight, Pineview is 2, Dixie is 3, Crimson is 7, Hurricane is 8, and Snow Canyon is at 9.
Yeah, I think that's really accurate at this point.
Gonna be fun.
I'll be excited to see how that new RPI shakes out as the season winds down here. I think it's a big improvement over the RPI the last 2 seasons. But we're about to kick it off, or tip it off, as you'd say, in the basketball world.
Jump Ball brought to you by Best Friends Animal Sanctuary, Kanab, Utah. Just $26 adoptions through the end of the month. Go to bestfriends.org and check it out. J.O. drives off the window too strong. Ranson offensive rebound. Gets it saved over to Jelani.
And that's a lot of what happened the other night, Dev, is where they would get a rebound, get a hand on it, and it just kind of like the ball almost slipped out of hands there.
Tuller on a waist-high dribble, terminates, goes right wing to J.O. Lob it high. Ott seals and scores. Beautiful pass.
And that's one where there was just no help side defense there as Easton Back was fronting the post.
Lindquist out top. On the wing to Murdoch. Back over to Phillips. Phillips, backdoor cut, beautiful feed, and scoring it was Easton Back.
And this is what Easton really adds to this team. I've said it all season long. He's just a guy that he watches when someone picks up the ball. He's great at back cutting. Yeah,
and it was a good feed as well. So we've seen 2 assisted baskets on the opening possession for each team. That ball's knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Panthers. Panthers wearing the road blacks with the white numbers, white Pineview across the front. Mustangs got the red and blue checks down the legs and the sleeve of the jersey with the all-white tops and bottoms. And I think he traveled. Yes, he did. First turnover of the game.
And again, that's great defense on Leroy, but that's the thing I've been talking about a lot in these broadcasts is when you draw another defender, someone else's guy comes over to help you, you've done your job. Find the next guy, and it's a wide open shot or it's a bang-bang layup.
Man-to-man defense, and it goes off Back's foot. It was a poke away by Tuller, and then it hit the foot of Back and went out of bounds. So both teams exchanged buckets on great assists, and then they both exchanged turnovers.
Turnover, yeah. And again, that's one where this Pineview team is so crafty defensively. They're aggressive. They're well coached on the defensive side. They're going to reach and grab some of those. You have to be as strong on those crossovers, or just move the ball quicker.
Ott in trouble, kicks it back out to Tuller. Nate, little flip shot blocked away by Back. Ball's loose scramble. Schmidt trying to grab it. Diving was Murdoch, but he's on the baseline. It'll stay with Pineview. Good hustle early on.
A lot of hustling. Those 50-50 balls already kind of feel like they've gone Pineview's way, but I like the effort from that Crimson team of diving on the floor a couple of times.
What shoes is Coop wearing, Ranson? Those Browns.
Those are the Kyries.
Ooh.
Like Native American.
Oh, nice move. Ott left-hand lane, but he didn't beat the buzzer. It's a shot clock violation. Oh, that's too bad. It was such a pretty move.
Even I was a little surprised. I was like, wait, why is the backboard light going off? But we forgot that it went out of bounds. There was no possession exchange there.
That will go down as a turnover, if I'm not mistaken.
It will, yep.
So 2
team
now
turnover,
on Pineview.
I think, is what those are.
Back, 3, no. Short off the rim, rebounded by Schmitty. Here comes Caleb Schmidt. Gives it on the wing to Tuller. He wants to attack on Murdoch, and they call a foul on Travis Murdoch on a bump. An emphatic block call. Let's take another look at that one. Little transition. Both these teams look like they want to run early on.
You got to stop the ball earlier than that, right? And that just is Trav getting out of position there. But, a lot of teams, the fundamentals are so much harder to teach in high school now because of what's happened with the three-point shot and the one-on-one offense. But the reality is there's some fundamentals like you send a guard back on a rebound or you stop the ball before half court. Those are principles of basketball that will eliminate these types of fouls.
Missed Fabulous Freddie free throw. We're tied 2-2, 5:49 on the We Win Injury Law clock left in the first quarter. Just getting going. Tueler's second one is good. 3-2 Panthers have the lead on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. Wilkinson's inviting you to light up your house and light up the scoreboard, Region 9. You've been longtime great partners with us of sports here on the network. Lindquist hounded by Schmidt, lost the dribble, gets it to back. Easton on a flip to Murdoch on a little high weave, backing his way down on J.O. Ojegba can't block it, but he did force a strong shot off the window, no good, and then Leroy called for a reach-in. Foul on the Mustangs. First foul.
And those are fouls. I like the effort. I like the attempt to hustle and play hard. But anytime you're 65 feet away from the basket, you can't commit those types of fouls. You got to make sure, like, hey, you didn't get the rebound, great. Hustle back and make it up down here when it's a factor.
Early in the game, you don't think it's a big deal, but if you pick up five fouls and put them on the line too early, that's free throws.
Yeah, down the stretch, those matter. Those ticky-tack ones. Again, nobody can make that shot unless it's a Hail Mary heave. So, don't take yourself out of the game defensively on one of those types of fouls.
Hard drive. Britton Phillips with the left hand finishing in style.
And already I like his energy. This is the kind of energy he had in that Desert Hills game where he was just flying around the court, bouncing off the floor and making plays just like that.
I've noticed a trend. Britton seems to play a little bit better at the home floor than on the road, Ben. Have you noticed that this year? Something about the rims, just a little more friendly confines. Leroy lining up a three. That won't go. Offensive rebound from Mack. Lindquist, turnaround jumper. Got it. Beautiful kiss off the window, and down it goes.
Great offensive rebound, patient there, didn't force it. I think he's going to have to create his own offense off of rebounds and steals in this Crimson offense.
Yeah, good put back there, 6-3. The home team, Mustangs, with their largest lead of the game here early on. Hard drive, and Schmitty lost it out of bounds. Who's it touched by? Blocked away by Britton.
I think it was an offensive foul. I think Trey Leroy just stood there and didn't even move.
Take another
look. We see it. Look at, that's an offensive foul.
He did stay stationary. That's a good eye by you, Ben. But they get a takeaway anyway. Max saves it to Murdoch. There's Eminem on the defensive end.
I will say that's the hardest call in basketball, the block charge, so I'll give him a little bit of grace.
I think you're right, though. I didn't notice that live. Definitely on the replay. It did look like he was stationary. Lindquist out top. Jelani Ojegba guarding him. Schmitty guarding Trav. Trav, nice move. Drop step, score it.
And look, Pineview's going to have to either bring a double or front guard the post because you get Trav on that block that close, and he's one of the best guys in the region, I think, at that left shoulder jump shot.
Ranson wants three. Maybe the play for Coach Pat Amico. Panthers down by 5, 8-3. Mustangs have surged ahead here. Just past the halfway point of the first quarter. J.O. straightaway triple, no. Rebound Phillips. Head down floor. Outlet to Murdoch. Back to Mack. They'll set up the half-court offense.
There just needs to be some more movement in this offense. You see guys just standing. That's what Easton back brings to it, is he's moving quite often.
They doubled and now flip it back to Trav, and Trav has to go down on the floor to get it. And we got a foul or a jump. They're going to jump it up. Jump ball brought to you by Roney's Mac Bar, now opening the Red Cliff
Mall. You see the drive here. Watch the hand go. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just he just lost the ball. But I love the hustle that a guy like Travis Murdoch brings to the game.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to flip it with the left hand back to Trav. And inbound and all alone, Britton Phillips scores it up and in. Timeout, Coach Pat Amico wants to talk things over.
And I thought that Pat Amico was going after the ref. He was going after the player. But I thought, oh, my gosh, he's going to get a technical. But great job early in this first quarter of sustaining that great offensive play.
30-second timeout brought to you by Luke Udy and American Family Insurance. We'll be back 10-3. Mustangs have the lead over Pineview.
Hi there, Dr. Cody Johnson from Johnson Pediatric Dentistry. Just like any good sports team needs a game plan, your child's dental health needs one too. Call us or check us out online. Don't forget to ask for our new patient special. Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, keeping your kids' teeth in championship form.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Hey, we're back, everybody. Quick timeout to settle the troops down. Coach Amico not happy with the effort on that last play.
Expect a drawn play here to get an easier shot than they've gotten so far. And again, I like something with J.O. attacking. Great cut there.
And Ott can't miss the chip shot. Oh, man. Just missed that point-blank bucket. And Murdoch blocked away as he attacked the rim. Ojegba, outlet, Tuller, right-hand lay-in, blocked away by Phillips. They called goaltending. And so Tuller will get a 2-point bucket. He's got 3 in the game, 3 of the 5 Panther points.
Yeah, and when you've got a guy like Jelani Ojegba on defense, as you see, we're not going to pick up the first, we'll pick up the end of it, but this is just a great, easy layup. Britt makes a great effort play to get back, but you got to be really aware of where J.O. is, because he'll come from that weak side and he'll swat it into the third row. That
was really close to being a clean block. Just might have nicked the backboard before he touched it, deemed the officials. 18 on the shot clock, back, flips it high to Mack, too high, can't handle it.
That's
Here
a
comes
bounce
Schmidt.
pass. Make the easy bounce pass.
Schmidt to Ranson in the corner. No 3 available. Goes to a little leaner. Blocked away by Leroy, but Ranson gets it back.
And a helter-skelter couple of possessions here for both teams.
Yeah, I agree. Almost a little out of control. You can tell the adrenaline is flowing in the field house tonight. Ranson, no. Ott grabs the rebound, dribbles out of traffic, kicks it outside. Tuller over to J.O. Fresh shot clock. They can reset. 1:40 left on the We Win clock. Ojegba left hand left that short, and it's still 10-5 Crimson. Phillips, a little stop and crossover, missed it, got it back, put it up and in.
Look, any kid watching or any parent that has a kid that's playing, that's what effort does, right? He doesn't shoot a great shot, but he keeps going and gets his own rebound, as we see Schmidt there with the shot. And you can see Crimson is very focused on getting the ball up the court.
Leroy attacks on a great pass, and he is fouled. He'll head to the line for free throws. Crimson already up 7, 1:10 left here in the first quarter. I like how they got this rebound, and Crimson looks to be pushing the tempo. You see, boom, Murdoch gets it, 3 or 4 dribbles, snaps it over to Leroy. Yeah, Schmidt kind of went straight up there. Nothing up high, maybe a little body down low was the call.
And with 7 minutes in the first half, that we see this first substitution, and it'll be in Will Hokanson. Oh, Big Al Ogden's coming in as well. I think he's going to get shooter here. This is interesting because Al Ogden, I think he's got a lot of upside on that post. Big fella, soft touch, and just a great kid, overall attitude.
And Leroy makes both Fabulous Freddy's free throws. Stop by this weekend, you and your car feeling fabulous. Bluff Street or River Road. Don't forget, grab some Ike's sandwiches. They're delicious over there at that Bluff Street location, or their Splash drinks.
Dev, this is a lineup I have not seen. I've seen every Crimson game. This is a lineup I have not seen. This is one where you have to make sure you don't miss an assignment, because if you do, Pineview will capitalize.
Ojegba, good look, but too strong. Ogden grabs the rebound. Outlet to Lindquist on the wing. He'll slow it down, lob it high to Ogden. Big Al going to a hook shot, left it short, rebound Schmitty. Schmidt whips it, Tuller, lay in, got it. Pineview needed a bucket and got one. Good job by Caleb Schmidt to lead that break. And find Tuller for an wide open lay-in. 14-7. Panthers have cut the lead in half. Final shot of the quarter is Crimson's if they want to hold for the final 16 seconds. Clock ticking down. Lindquist just on a waist-high dribble near half court. He'll flip it over to Hoke. Hoke back to Sands Reed. Now Lindquist with it. They double him. He dribbles out of traffic. Lindquist right through the middle. Little float shot off the window, too strong, and that'll do it for the first quarter. Crimson with a strong start. They lead 14-7 when we come back on the Wilkinson scoreboard and the Fan Sports Network.
Have you tried the St. George Stretch Lab? It'll help boost your athletic performance, help you feel less restricted in your movements, knock out those nagging aches and pains, and melt away your stress. Right now at the St. George Stretch Lab, get an intro stretch for just $39. That's $30 off. Mention keyword radio.
Hey, it's Luke with Udine Associates at American Family Insurance. At Udine Associates, we love insurance so you don't have to. With a quick call, we can get you an instant quote with the right coverages. My team of licensed agents are ready to help you with better insurance from American Family. Give us a call at 435-251-9102.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Oh, cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Today's game is brought to you by Dealer Collision, Coral Canyon Golf Course, Udine Associates, Fabulous Freddy's, Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, and Great Harvest Bread Company.
Hey, we're back, everybody, here at the Fieldhouse, Crimson Cliffs High School. Great crowd tonight. There is standing room only in the middle sections. A lot of people walking around the track. The band is in the building, and everybody saw Crimson open up a 7-point lead as we go to quarter number 2. Panthers with the basketball. Hand off on the top to Ranson. He'll float it up and in. Good crafty touch by Coop.
Great job there. Takes on the big fella, is patient. He wanted, obviously, they designed a set play for a double handoff to get Cooper a 3, but he just was patient and went inside and went over the big fella.
Hanging with Mr. Coop. Remember that show?
Yeah, of course, man.
Reed dropping it down to Big Al. Kick it right back out to Sands. Oh, J.O. nearly a steal, but Lindquist tracks it down. Maybe he got a hand there, too. McKay to the spin, pump fake, high soft touch, back iron too strong. Rebound Tuller.
Those are hard shots. They've got to help him off on defense. It looks like it's going to be off. Boy, Sands rolled an ankle
maybe?
there. Yeah, I think it's going to be off Crimson, but you got to get him some screens. Got to find him in some spots because, especially with J.O. guarding him, I mean, the most athletic guy in the region.
Giving up a couple inches,
Going to be hard to do that. I like drawing the attention and back cutting, finding some passes for some other guys.
Hard drive by Ranson, too strong. Rebound Hokinson. Here comes Will.
It's going to be 5-on-4. See if Crimson can take advantage of this.
Whips it to Mack in the middle. Good pass by Murdoch. Mack drops it with a soft touch, and the Mustangs are up 16-9.
And we're gonna miss that one. I didn't notice until too late to see what had happened down there, but I didn't see him come down on the ankle
Ranson,
here.
I didn't either.
And you hate to. It's such a critical part of that Pineview team,
Cooper,
and he's a great kid too.
He is. Cooper Ranson, 14.6 points a game, 3.4 rebounds, 2.5 assists per game. He's putting weight on that right ankle or that right
He's kind of holding up towards his knee maybe. Ooh. I like to see that because he's kind of got a little bit of a swagger back, and I think he's going to be okay.
They're going to take him back to the locker room and check on him. Maybe.
Yeah. Boy, I hope that's just a short checkout. Again, great kid and a great player, incredible shooter. We talked in media day where he was like, well, I'm making 1,500 shots a day. You know, and it's like you got to love and respect a kid that plays like that and puts in the time.
Great family. His older sister is the new Desert Hills girls golf coach.
I didn't know that.
And his middle sister was a teammate of my daughter's on the golf team a few years ago. They got a little golf in the family. We can appreciate that. Tuller, kick out. Moody now in for Ranson. He'll give it up to J.O. J.O. lost the handle, flips it, lost it out of bounds. Last touch by Ojegba.
Unusual night for him so far, and I don't expect it to continue. Crimson's got off on a couple of these pretty easily because he's not going to miss those all night. And if he gets a big dunk or a big 3, the memory of those misses goes bye-bye.
Yeah, I think he's 0 for 6 from the field thus far. Hasn't scored. Had 23 in the first meeting, which was a 3-point win for the Mustangs, 66-63. Lindquist kick to Hoke, wide open. He's got to hoist that. Can't hit it. Ball knocked out of bounds, but it doesn't matter. Hit the top of the standard.
And that's a great shot.
It is.
He's got to shoot that. What I like from Crimson so far is they had 2 or 3 opportunities there to shoot bad shots, and you could see some restraint there. They got a great shot. Those will go down, especially for a shooter like Will Hokinson.
5:50 left here in the first half on the We Win Injury Loss scoreboard, or clock. Moody kicks it to the corner. Tueller. Now hard drive. Tueller lost the handle, but they call a foul. Is it on the shot or the floor? They're saying he's going up.
Oh, they're saying he's going up. All right. A great drive. I'll say this.
No, they're not going to give him shots.
Yeah, I didn't
Take another look.
Yeah, I think we look here one more time. Looks like the help comes here from Will Hokinson. Great rotation. Boy, my gosh, I don't know. Maybe he just reached in there at the last second. We're up here. They're down there. One of those situations. But, Dev, what's interesting to me is with 5:42, it's 16-9 for Crimson. But it feels like Crimson's up 12, right? But they're only 7. So if you're Pineview, you're thinking right now, look, we can't play any worse.
And we're still
in this game. We've missed 5 layups. We've turned the ball over. We got guys that are hurt.
And Caleb Schmidt on an inbound scores an and-one opportunity as the foul comes as he makes that shot. And it's now a 5-point game.
Great play here, right? The old screen, the screener steps in, and that's a great finish by Caleb Schmidt.
His first points of the game. He'll head to the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line too strong. And a lane violation, and they're going to give him another shot. So Caleb Schmidt will get another
attempt. See? I don't know. Let's see that one maybe one more time if we can go to the replay here.
It wasn't on the shooter. It was on somebody, either Britton or Trav, that just stepped into the lane early, I believe. We saw a lane violation in the Pineview-Dixie game on Wednesday, but it was the shooter coming across to get a miss. And he ended up making it, but he thought he left it short, so he kind of stepped across to go get it, and it ended up being a violation.
Well, it doesn't feel like a lot
Free point.
But it's a free point. But I was going to say, so, it felt like it was a 12-point Crimson lead, and you look up at the clock with 5:37 in the second quarter, it's 16-12. You've played horrible. You've missed layups, and you've fouled, and you've done some things, and you're down 4. If you're Pineview, you're thrilled right now.
Still, Cooper Ranson has not come back on the Pineview bench. He's still in the locker room. 3 by Phillips, no. Rebound to Ojegba. Up to Schmidt. Schmitty back to the basket, working on Leroy, pounding that ball, up and under, nothing there. Kick out to Tueller. Tueller pass back. Help defense comes, and a block by Phillips and a late foul on Phillips. Maybe with the body, the block up high looked pretty clean. To the basket, working on Leroy. And I like this by Schmidt. He didn't have anything, and he kicked it out. Kick out to Tueller. I think on the way down.
I mean, those are the ones, it's like, you have to close out to tendencies. The ball swings over and back gets caught out of position. Instead of closing out, he runs to where the ball was as opposed to where it's going to be. You got to know these guys love to drive right. Every one of these guys loves to put the ball on the deck with their strong hand. They've been doing it since they were in junior jazz.
Yep.
It's not going to change at this point. So, on defense, you got to close out to where they're going to be.
Panthers 3 for 4 from the line tonight, now 4 for 5 as Tueller has 7 points. Tueller comes in averaging 11.6. He is the leading scorer in this game. Britton Phillips leading Crimson with 6 points right now. But it's a lower scoring game with 5 minutes left in the second quarter. And Pineview's cut it down to 16-14. And Travis Murdoch says, and one, as he heads to the line with a nifty move and scores the bucket.
And he's just a guy, if you let him in the paint and you don't double him, as they kind of half double here, but there it's too late. He's got 3 guys, but none of them are close enough to impact the play. And that's just a great
by him kind of overlook. And he's got some range on that pivot foot.
Absolutely, and he's crafty. He's kind of got that old man offensive finishing ability where you can kind of lean and throw it up, and he's great at drawing contact. I think one of the best guys at drawing the contact in Region 9.
Seems such a quiet kid. Of course, dad's coach. Probably hard on his son as anybody on this team. But Trav is a heck of a ball player. I couldn't agree more. That old man game, that's a compliment. J.O. trying to get on track. Misfires from 17 feet out. Offensive rebound, though, by Ott. Big E. Ott having some offensive rebounds as he gets another one. And more second chance points opportunity here for the Panthers.
We talked about it as a key to a game. You have, especially for teams like Pineview that are full of effort, you got to go in and seal a guy. You can't out-jump guys like this.
Lindquist and Big Al coming back in, probably for rebounding purposes. Nice pass, but it was tight quarters, and J.O. couldn't handle it. Out of bounds, turnover, Panthers.
And this is really what plagued this Crimson team Wednesday night against Snow Canyon, was second chance opportunities, and it was Reggie Mackey who probably had 4 or 5 offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities, along with getting to the line quite a bit. So with 19-14, 4 minutes left, we're halfway through the second quarter. Again, it just feels like a couple of heavyweights trading blows.
Tonight's game brought to you by Red Rock Real Estate. From land to luxury, if you're looking to buy or sell, check out one of over 300 realtors, redrockrealestate.com. Want to rent your property? They have a property management. They also do vacation rentals. Lindquist passes down to Phillips. Left-hand hook, no. Murdoch or Ogden put back, that won't go. And finally cleared by Ott. Over to Schmidt at half court. Lets traffic clear, gets it to Tueller. Ranson is back on the Pineview bench, right next to the coaching staff.
I don't see a shoe off or any wrap or anything like that, so that's a great sign.
Looks like he thinks he wants to go back in. That's the impression I'm getting.
Yeah, I love that. That's great news.
15 on the shot clock. Panthers down, Crimson leading 19-14 on the Wilkinson scoreboard here. Schmidt, little 16-foot jumper short. Rebound Lindquist. Here comes Mack with it. Mack racing down on Ojegba, off the glass, no good. Rebound, Ott. Panthers can try to draw closer. Just 2:50 left here in the first half. Coming up at the break, we'll have the Great Harvest Bread Company halftime show. Stats, score updates brought to you by Flynn Companies. And we'll get you all of the second half adjustments and thoughts. But still, some action to be played here as Tueller just could not hold that pivot foot, drug it, and they call travel. That is turnover number 5 by my count on the Panthers in this game.
And Ranson's going to step back on the court there. That's a welcome sign for the Pineview squad. And Trey Leroy is going to come back in for Big Al Ogden for the Crimson side. Some lineups that I just haven't really seen for Crimson and even for Pineview. I think a couple of just a little discombobulated early here in this game.
Tonight's game brought to you by Handel's Homemade Ice Cream. Lindquist with the beautiful pass inside to Phillips. What a dime, and Phillips scores it.
And that's a great pass. A lot of times this season he's rose up and shot that. I like that he found the cutting and diving Britton Phillips for an easy layup.
21-14, lead back to where it was to start this second quarter at 7. Ranson, hezzy move, scores it. He's fine.
Again, Dev, great move, but you got to know tendencies. You got to know that's a right-handed player that loves to shoot going right.
Lindquist triple won't fall. Neither of these teams have made a 3 in this first half. We only got $1.50 left. Steal by Phillips. Ojegba trying to challenge, and he fouls him. Britton Phillips will head to the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line.
Great anticipation skills. Britton is bouncy tonight. He's in the gaps. Great job of securing that, going down and making sure that either he got the bucket or he got the foul or he got both.
Heading to the line. As a team this year, Mustangs shoot 72% from the free throw line. Halftime update brought to you by Flynn Companies. 27-23, Hurricane leading Dixie by 4.
Yeah, at home. That's going to be a close game. And then we have Snow Canyon up on Cedar, 31-23.
And you wonder, when is that first region win going to come for Cedar? They thought they had it on Wednesday. Desert Hills beat them by 3.
They play hard. I know they've not had quite maybe the talent that they've had 5-6 years ago, but they really play hard. Coach does a great job up there, and they've got, I think if they could have had that squad last year going into this year, I think they might have been in a little bit better position.
Turnover, Leroy ahead of everybody. Two-hand slam, throw it down, Troy Leroy. Where'd that come from?
Look at this. We're going to get a great replay here. Ranson brings it up, and no one home on the pass. Trey Leroy's just got to pick it up, and it's layup drill, except for this time it's the dunking drill.
Ranson blocked away, misses it at point-blank range. Here comes Murdoch. Lindquist right down the middle, off the window. No, put back, that won't go. And it's 23-16. Pineview basketball with 1 minute to go. Crimson still up by 7. Exciting first half so far. Glad you're with us here. It's our Game of the Week, brought to you by the Boulevard, making your house more like home for over 50 years. Ranson had it stolen away. Murdoch with the sneaky hands in the cookie jar. Kick it to Britton. Wants the step back 3 and can't find it. Put back. That won't go. Offensive rebound, Murdoch. Oh, he traveled, or it's a jump ball. Ball.
Dev, you get the feeling at 23-16 with 36 seconds left that if any one of those baskets go in, that is a massive momentum shift as it feels like maybe Crimson's trying to pull away. But Pineview has been able to get a couple of rebounds, a couple of stops in transition to maintain this little miniature lead for Crimson.
This feels like a playoff game, doesn't it, Ben? Just the intensity, the adrenaline. Drive the baseline, Lindquist. And timeout, Coach Murdoch from the bench wants to talk things over because there's only 2 seconds differential here. That's a great
timeout right there. You know, Lindquist drove. Great job on Tuller of rotating and sealing that off. And I think Murdoch thought, okay, this is going to end in a bad shot. Let's get a timeout. Let's draw up something right on that baseline and get a basket going into halftime.
Tonight's game brought to you by Coral Canyon Golf Course. We'll take a quick timeout. Be right back. Crimson leading Pineview by 7 on the Fan.
From bold statements to subtle compliments, Wilkinson's House of Lighting will help you more fully enjoy all the different spaces in your home. Find us online at shopwilkinsons.com or come in and see what's new. 88 East, 1160 South, just off Main.
Your child's sports journey starts with the City of St. George Recreation. From their first steps on the court or field to becoming a star player, our youth sports programs are here to develop talents and teamwork skills. So get out and play. Check out all the sports and get signed up at sgcityrec.org.
We're back here at the field house, and again, Hurricane leading by 4 over Dixie at halftime. Snow Canyon leading over Cedar. Here, it's Crimson by 7. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist here in the Grass Creek Construction broadcast booth. See what Grass Creek can build for you. Proud partner of Region 9 Sports here on the network. You can check them out, grasscreekconstruction.com. 30 seconds left. Coach Murdoch drawing up a play. They'll trigger it under their own basket. Want to work some clock and hold for one here? I would assume so.
I think you try and score right out of the gate.
If you get a good look, take it.
At this point, it looks like they're just going to hold it out. You know, I think you got to play a little more conservative at the end of the game with a couple of minutes left. But I think what's hard about this kind of spread situation when teams do this is that it puts pressure on the last few seconds of getting a shot off. So it's almost a little bit of desperation here, and it's just more difficult there for the teams to get a good shot.
Lindquist with 5. He'll take the leap lean 3. Get it! McKay Lindquist from downtown. A Nets on fire 3. And the Mustangs are up 10 at the break.
And look, it went in. But I think there's a lot of easier ways to get a shot here than the jump back, step back 3, and.
But I like he jumped forward. He's leaning into
That's fair. That's fair. I'm just saying. I wish teams would draw that up and get something going to the hoop early in the shot clock. And if you don't get a good shot, then you kick it out and take those.
But that's the kind of player Mac is, and he can get his shot off when he needs to, and he comes through clutch to propel Crimson up by 10 at the break. 26-16 on the Wilkinson scoreboard. When we come back, we'll fire up the Great Harvest Bread Company halftime show. Stick around.
Your child's sports journey starts with the City of St. George Recreation. From their first steps on the court or field to becoming a star player, our youth sports programs are here to develop talents and teamwork skills. So get out and play. Check out all the sports and get signed up at sgcityrec.org.
You could wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that can make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks Ace stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
At Grass Creek Construction, they put their heart and integrity into every build. Their team is committed to delivering top-quality commercial projects that stand out. Integrity is their competitive edge. Building with passion, building with purpose, proud sponsor of local sports.
Hey, it's Marco from Coral Canyon Golf Course, inviting you to play the course with the best backdrop in Southern Utah. Make sure you get out and experience great golf for a great price at Coral Canyon. Visit coralcanyongolfcourse.com or call us at 435-688-1700 for your tee times.
Oh, hello, Italian nightclub from Jimmy John's. Ciao, freshly baked bread piled with Italian-style meats. Hey, hand-sliced veggies. Am I obsessed with this sandwich? Yeah. So what if I am? Jimmy John's. Order online or on the app.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the Cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Huge news! Sport Court has a brand new showroom and design center, and it's next level. See why so many are choosing Sport Court here in Southern Utah for top quality basketball, pickleball, and multi-purpose courts. Learn more at sportcourtofsouthernutah.com.
At Grass Creek Construction, they put their heart and integrity into every build. Their team is committed to delivering top-quality commercial projects that stand out. Integrity is their competitive edge. Building with passion, building with purpose, proud sponsor of local sports.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
Today's game is brought to you by Dealer Collision, Coral Canyon Golf Course, Udi and Associates, Fabulous Freddy's, Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, and Great Harvest Bread Company.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. The Crimson Cliffs drill team right now doing their show routine. And this is a tribute to MTV's Total Request Live. And Ben, on Tuesday night, the region drill competition was up in Cedar City. And this Crimson team won first place in show with this routine and took second overall. So they'll be heading up to state next Thursday and Friday, trying to win a state title. And we are at the break here, and it is a 10-point lead for the Mustangs. Lindquist 3 at the horn. And what a push there from Pineview to cut into that lead. But now all of a sudden you look up and it's the largest deficit of the night. And you got to be pretty impressed, Ben, with the defense of the Mustangs. They are doubling, they're hounding, they're making every shot contested. And Jelani Ojegba, who comes averaging 16 a night, had no buckets in that first half.
And he had a couple of early looks that, I think as a scorer, when those go down, it's just kind of a confidence builder. But here's the thing. We were kind of tolling up. I'll bet he's missed maybe 5 or 6 of those types of shots. Feels like he really should have like 14 or 15 points right now.
Right.
And then also you got West, who missed a couple of bunny layups. Then you got Cooper, who missed one there. It feels like, again, Crimson should be up 20, but they're up 10. And so I think if you're in the locker room right now and you are Coach Amico and the Pineview Panthers, you're in there saying, guys, take a deep breath. It's only 10-point games. We can score faster than you can think or blink. And so if we can just make a couple of layups, stop turning the ball over, and do a couple of the things Pineview basketball way, we're right back in this basketball game. But very rarely are you ever going to see this Pineview team score 16 points in 16 minutes. That is not up to their standard and very surprising. If you're Crimson Dev, you're in that locker room saying, you're preaching your own story, and they're telling your guys, if we take care of the basketball, if we get a couple more of those offensive rebounds and eliminate those, because Pineview had probably 4 or 5 by my count second chance opportunities and just didn't really capitalize. So you got to clean up that. You got to keep trying to find good shots, moving the basketball. And I think if you're in there, you're saying, let's find a way to come out and play Crimson basketball, rebound, get out into transition, and get this into a 18 to 20 point and try and put away this Panther team as early as you possibly can, because you don't want them lingering and staying around, because they can score, Dev. A lot of that was missed layups, and that I think is more of the story here in a 10-point ball game.
And not one three-pointer made. And this is a team that shoots only 29% from beyond the arc, but Cooper Ranson's a 35% shooter. I don't even think Cooper Ranson attempted a three-pointer in that first half. I know Schmidt had one, Tuller took one, I think Ojegba took one, but didn't hit one. In fact, that 3 to beat the horn, and we go back to that was the only three-pointer of the first half. And that was by Lindquist there to push the lead up at the break to 26-16. This is the Great Harvest Bread Company halftime show. Great Harvest, start your day with their delicious breakfast and, of course, freshly baked bread. Ben loves to take that cinnamon burst and cut it up and make some French toast.
I'm going to text my wife right now and say, hey, look, Def, this isn't just some radio plug. we keep that stuff in the freezer, and we pull it out, the day before. I'm going to text her and say, when we go home, we got to make sure and pull some of that out because I want French toast in the morning.
It's going to be good. We love it. Great Harvest also does catering. They're open for lunch as well. All right, let's check a couple of the highlights from the first half. As we do so, we'll get you the Scooters Coffee statistics here. For Pineview, leading scorer was Tuller. He had 7, 4 for Ranson, 3 for Schmidt, and 2 for Ott. Here is a block up high and then a nice little put back. And for Crimson, 5 for Murdoch, 7 for Lindquist, 8 for Phillips, 4 for Leroy, and 2 for Easton Back.
Okay, so let's look at the Pineview side here real quick. Ojegbo with no points is mind-blowing. I think if that would have been on the bingo card, no one would have got that one tonight.
And if you would have had Troy Leroy, we just saw that dunk, nobody would have had that on their bingo card, probably a two-handed slam.
Yeah, right. He can throw it down, but it's like those are just the variables of the game that when sometimes you can get those things to work out, it leads to success. But when you look over at the Crimson side, you got, as Britton goes, we talk a lot about Mac, we talk a lot about Murdoch, but Britton really, when he can have that impact on the game, and I know for him it's shooting threes, it is for every kid at this age, but when you can get him in transition and you can get easy layups and you can get out and get easy baskets and get rebounds, it just breaks the spirit of the opposing team.
My favorite bucket from Britton in the first half was that 2-footed jump stop, crossed over to the left hand and got that little floater lay-in.
Yeah,
that was a great bucket.
I agree. But you see, he's got 8 points, and so if he can get to that 12 range, Crimson has had a lot of success.
Take another look at a couple of more highlights from the first half. At the break, it's 26-16. This is the play to end the half that's pushed the lead up to 10. He'll take the leap lean 3. And nothing but the bottom, and that's on fire 3 for McKay Lindquist.
Yeah, late shot clock, those are situations it's always hard to put a kid in. And especially, I just am a big believer that you, down the clock, you want to spread it out and get the best look. And I just think it makes it easier for the defense when you know that you're going to run the shot clock down and hope that you get a good shot. But that's one of those situations where he just made a great individual move and the shot goes in. Those are like the 20 to 25 percenters. And in that case, big momentum shot going into the locker room to push that lead to 10 for this Crimson Cliffs team.
They've got some honoring some seniors, I believe, here. Maybe all-state and all-region drill team members. At the half, 26-16, presented by Great Harvest. Stats brought to you by our friends at Scooters Coffee in Hurricane on State Street. Stop by, delicious breakfast, coffee, smoothies, protein drinks. They got it all at Scooters Coffee. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll talk more second half adjustments, and we'll check in on those other scores in Region 9. At the break, Mustangs lead by 10.
Let's give it up for Skyler. On behalf of the Crimson Cliffs drill team coaching staff and the entire Mustang family, we thank all of our graduating athletes for representing the herd with pride. We are grateful for your efforts, commitment to the team, and the lessons we've learned along the way. We encourage you to always do your very best wherever life takes you. Congratulations and good luck to our 2026 seniors.
At Great Harvest, we believe in crafting more than just bread. We provide crisp, garden-fresh salads and savory sandwiches. Everything from garden-fresh ingredients to our signature handcrafted bread. Our friendly staff will guide you to find a meal that will leave you craving seconds. At Great Harvest, we truly provide something for everyone. And don't forget our baked goods. Satisfy your sweet tooth and finish your meal with a brownie or cinnamon roll. Come visit us at Great Harvest.
Welcome to the Back Nine. We bring the world's best horses to you. Elevate your game at any time with 24/7 access to top-tier golf technology and expert PGA instructors available. Back Nine Golf is a place to improve your swing for all ages. Join us today.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out, with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
Huge news! Sport Court has a brand new showroom and design center, and it's next level. See why so many are choosing Sport Court here in Southern Utah for top quality basketball, pickleball, and multi-purpose courts. Learn more at sportcourtofsouthernutah.com.
It's time to get your game on with Mountain Mike's oven-roasted chicken wings. They're meaty, juicy, in full.
Scooter's Coffee and Hurricane is the best way to start your day or get you through your day. From breakfast sandwiches to cinnamon rolls to amazing smoothies and, of course, coffee. Anytime is a good time to sip and smile. Scooter's Coffee, open 7 days a week.
Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Kanab is open daily for free family fun. Take a tour, volunteer, hike a trail, or bring home a new best friend. Visit Best Friends today for magical memories that'll last forever.
Oh, we're back. It's okay. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the Crimson Cliffs Fieldhouse as the Mustangs lead by 10 here inside of our Great Harvest Bread Company halftime show. Stop by in the Boulevard Commons and check them out for lunch, for breakfast, or amazing loaves of freshly made bread. Here inside our Grass Creek Construction broadcast booth, Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist, nowhere we'd rather be on a Friday night than here in this Region 9 rivalry game.
And we're going to be Utah Tech SU tomorrow.
Yes.
Talk about a couple of great rivalries. We'll be over there at Burns Arena tomorrow night. Is it 7 o'clock?
7 o'clock, and Cedar, up in Cedar, they're feeling hopeful. SU has won 3 in a row, and they just beat the number 1 team in the conference, UVU, by 14 on Wednesday night.
Yeah, things coming together for that SU team.
And Utah Tech had that injury to Modibo Owona. He's out for the season, and they have lost a couple, and they're both 3 and 4 in conference plays. We're getting into everybody playing each other for the second time. Again, only 7 teams in the WAC, with Seattle U and Grand Canyon leaving in the summer. And, of course, we know SUU and Utah Tech are headed to the Big Sky next summer, and I don't know what's going to happen to the WAC once they lose 2 more teams.
Yeah, I don't know. You hate to see it. I remember my brother played in the WAC championship up in the Delta Center years ago, and it was prestigious. I mean, the WAC was Western Conference basketball. I mean, it was a big deal, and they had some great teams in that conference.
The West Coast Conference seems to be gaining traction. The Big West seems solid. Big Sky seems solid. It's the Pac-12, and then the trickle-down effect is people are robbing schools away, and the WAC has really got raided, and you wonder what the future holds for that conference. But you wonder what the future holds for the second half. Crimson by 10. Ben, take me inside Pat Amico's locker room. Probably the most glaring thing is Jelani Ojegba held scoreless in the first half.
Yeah, and I think, Coach Pat Amico he's a strategist. He loves the X's and O's. He knows as well as anybody, he's got to find a way to get him going. You can't be like, hey, we need other guys to step up tonight. We got to have some other scores. You need J.O. to get some buckets, and so he'll design some sets. He'll try and get him to his spots. You need a guy like Cooper Ranson, who, unfortunately, he was out not for foul trouble or anything else. He was in the locker room trying to get examined by the training staff there. Luckily, he was able to come back onto the court, but you need baskets from him, too, one of the leading three-point shooters in the region. And then Caleb Schmidt's another guy that you're saying, hey, look, guys, take a deep breath. We're not in trouble. It's a 10-point ball game. We can do this. We're on the road. This is a great crowd. You got a great cause. You got the Sorensen family they just recognized here at center court.
Son's fighting cancer.
There's bigger things going on. So let's come out and play hard, leave it all on the floor. If you're Crimson, you've got to have a priority of not trying to force this lead to 20, but you want to push it there, right? You need to get it some momentum going the right direction right here in the third quarter by doing the right things, eliminating those offensive rebounds, making sure that you take care of the basketball, and then finally getting the very best shots available by the best shooters.
All right, that's inside the Panthers locker room. What about for the Mustangs? Our look at the second half brought to you by our friends at Dealer Collision Center. From minor collisions to major accidents, make Dealer Collision Center your choice for repairs in Southern Utah.
Yeah, and they're going to just come out and really third quarter execution is going to be the key here for Crimson. They've got to make sure that they don't get lackadaisical, and they come out here and try to execute and make the right play is probably the best way to define that.
By the way, I walked in with Coach Brian, Justin Abbott, the baseball coach here at Crimson.
Yeah, great coach.
They beat Lone Peak 5-2 in an exhibition game today. That's a 6A school. The pitching staff combined for 17 strikeouts on a 6A school.
That's incredible. You know, I really think they didn't have the whole season the best team, but they found a way to win late in that season. It was so inspirational and so impressive to watch.
Oh my goodness, J.O. two-hand dunk! He got a screen, beat the other defender, and slams it down.
And Dev, that's all it takes. A design play, a little rub screen there, the Red Sea parts, and Moses dribbles down and throws it down with authority.
So we've seen a late three to beat the clock. Leroy has a dunk. Now Ojegba's first points come on a dunk, seconds into the second half. 8-point lead, Lindquist on the wing. Kicks to the corner to Easton back. It's the same starting five for Coach Murdoch with a little bit more size on the floor. They dump it down to Murdoch. They double him immediately. Murdoch to Lindquist. Good catch by Lindquist. Hangs, can't hit, but a whistle and a foul, and McKay will go to the line for two.
And I think he's saying, finally, you know, I know he feels like he's been hit on the wrist on every jump shot. That's not true. But on that one, a great basket cut. Murdoch almost had to tell him, like, hey, back cut, buddy. As everyone kind of just stood still as the double team rotated over to Murdoch, and now Lindquist will go to the line for a chance to get a couple easy baskets. And that's the funny thing. You get the dunk here, but 2 free throws counts the same. But I think the more important thing for Ojegba on that other end is seeing the basket go through. Let's see what that does here in the third quarter for his confidence.
2 house of jump dunks tonight, 1 for either team as Lindquist drops both Fab Freddy's free throws. He's got 9, and that's now a team high for the Mustangs. 7 minutes to go in the third quarter here in our Boulevard home game of the week. Tuller to Ott, now over to Schmidt. Now Ojegba. Ranson, good look at a step back 3. Looks good, it is good. Nets on fire 3.
And I think 2 for 2 on possessions for Pineview now. Much crisper, much more focused and determined to get good shots, and they get their 2 best players there the best looks possible right out of the second half.
He is a sniper. Cooper Ranson. Inside, Easton back. A little reverse lay-in as he squared up and scores it. He's got 4 points on the night.
And both teams are 100% here out of the gate after kind of a rough scoring, low scoring. 26-16 is not an average Region 9 score through 2 quarters.
Ojegba out top, working on Leroy. They double him, and they call reach in foul.
See, and look, Leroy has the length. No reason to get narrow. Stay wide and stay down and get that hand in the shooter lane so that you can rise up when he goes up to shoot and contest the shot.
Take another look. Let's see what Ben was talking about.
See, he's done his job. He's in position there, but he stands up. Watch. See how he stands up and tries to use his hips a little bit? Stay in that position and then explode with your length to contest a shot.
Great Holbrook asphalt replay there. And, of course, we're looking for the big score dessert tonight. If we get over 55 points, fans, you win. You can head to the St. George Yogurtland. Buy one. Holbrook will buy the second one for you. And inside, Nate Tuller. He's got 9 on the night. Crafty move.
3 for 3 on offensive possessions here in the second half, and it's a 7-point ball game, 30-23. And Crimson has been 100% too, but one of those differences is the 3, as Leroy is able to drop step, turnover, lay it off the glass, and he is excited about that.
He's got that dunk, a nice bucket there. He's got 6 points in the ball game, and back and forth we go. Scoring picking up here early third quarter, 5:15 on the We Win Injury Law clock. They will win for you, period, if you've been injured in an accident. Tuller, kick out. Ott was cutting, and it's going to be a backcourt violation as Schmidt goes and gets it. Leroy wanted to do a Superman headfirst Pete Rose style slide. That's good if you're getting a score on a triple.
Looking at the coaches over here.
Tuller, kick out.
Yeah, he didn't touch. Maybe he thought he touched. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. My gosh. I think the coaching staff is over there like, what was he doing?
Is that Mookie Betts or Troy Leroy? Inbound to Travis Murdoch. He'll kick it over to the top, and now over on the wing to Lindquist, who drives the middle, and a leap and lean scores it. Lindquist has got 11 into double figures.
Great job of being patient, and you got to be so careful going over a big-time shot blocker like Ojegba, but he's able to keep his composure, stay on balance, and find a way to finish the shot.
Hanging out here in the field house. Ranson heating up! The baby-faced assassin throws a dagger 3, nothing but net.
And I love to see that for him. You know, he spent a lot of time off the court there with that injury, is able to come back, and he goes 2 for 2 right out of the gate. Great shot here. Look, he's always moving without the basketball.
And Murdoch is extending out. Yeah. He's just so deep. I don't think Trapp thought he was going to shoot that.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to shoot that one, but when a guy sees one goes in, especially if he's a shooter, you got to know he's on high alert for shot number 2.
All right, we'll take a 30-second timeout. Panthers got back-to-back threes from Cooper Ranson. They've cut it down to an 8-point deficit on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Crimson still leading 34-26.
Aloha, sports fans. It's Booba and Nick from Honolulu Grill.
Come get a taste of the islands. Try our famous Kalua pork or tender teriyaki chicken, and you'll love our mac salad and sweet sauce on your rice.
Don't forget to try our original Kava 8 at Honolulu Grill. It's game time.
Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
Today's game is brought to you by Back 9 Golf, Ronnie's Mac Bar, Scooters Coffee, Red Rock Real Estate, and Holbrook Asphalt.
A Flynn Companies score update. Thanks to Flynn Companies for bringing you that. It's Snow Canyon leading Cedar 48-33 after 3 quarters. Coach Ryan Ball doing a great job. Snow Canyon got some big wins recently over Hurricane and Crimson. They are 4-3 in region play and trying to finish the regular season strong and get a good seed in the state tournament. Phillips drives in, stripped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Mustangs. We'll get an update on that Dixie and Hurricane game as soon as we can. We know halftime it was 27-23. Hurricane was leading over the Flyers. Everybody's scoreboard watching. You got to take care of yourself, and you don't want to worry about it. But as soon as your game's done, you want to know how everybody else did.
Yeah, and from here on out, that's going to be the case as it just comes hot and heavy the rest of the way. Easton back going to take a seat. Sands Reed back in.
I've liked Sands Reed and the energy and the defensive prowess he's given this team this year. Lindquist, ball fake one way, ball fake the other. Now get it over to Leroy. They're sagging off of him. He'll skip it all the way over to Sands. Flips it to Britton. Britton lost the handle high into the air. Murdoch saves it. And that's a shot clock violation. And believe it or not, Ben, that is only the 4th Mustang turnover. I could have missed 1, 4, or 5, but they've done a pretty good job. And that was one of your City of St. George Rec Center keys to the game.
They struggled early, but they've got it under control, Dev. And that's why, even with the hot shooting of Pineview, they're up 8 with 3:53.
Ojegba and Ranson have kind of done the bulk of the scoring here in the third quarter. It's Ojegba with it. Now he goes to Ranson. Murdoch's got some size defensively on Cooper Ranson. Leroy guarding Ojegba. Spin move, poked free, ball's loose. Taken away by Sands Reed. Turnover number 7 for the Panthers. Outlet over to Murdoch. Murdoch will back it into the corner, flip it out to Sands. Reed now back to Murdoch. Thought about the 3. Instead, we'll go back out top, and they'll set up the half-court offense. Crimson by 8, 3:19 left on the Wheeman injury law clock here in quarter number 3. Inside, nice move. Murdoch scores it off the window.
A great job of being patient. He comes to the jump stop, waits for the defense, and then lays it off the glass with a touch.
5 at the half. He's got 7 now on the night. Ranson looking for a screen, double screen here. They switch it. Phillips guarding him, and he beats him to the bucket, but he can't finish. Odd offensive rebound. Flips it up short, no good. Rebound, Leroy. Leroy coast to coast, poke free. It'll stay with the Mustangs.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. West is he's an offensive rebound machine. I mean, you can just tell he loves to go crash the glass, and he almost created another second chance opportunity there. Luckily, the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs were able to secure that. Going to have another sub here. Leroy's going to take a seat.
Wide open.
Wow.
Sands Reed, bucket's good.
And 2 times you see Coach Amico looking over there going, what happened there, guys? That's happened twice now. That screen the screener action, every team should use that action. If you do it the right way, somebody will be open.
Outside of Ranson on the wing, back to Ojegba. 12-point Mustang lead. J.O. terminates, kicks to Ott. Ethan Ott pump fake. Ott drives in, off the window, and an offensive foul called on Ethan Ott.
And Coach
Take
Amico,
away the bucket.
Coach Amico's got to be careful here as he is going after the ref. As we see the replay here. Boy, it's the hardest call in basketball, Dev.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the best angle, it is so hard as an official, especially as cognizant as players are now about taking charges.
I would contest the shot was out of his hand when he came down. Obviously, NBA college, that's in the restricted area.
And I think they got to get to that in high school, too. Make it a little easier for these officials.
And a foul. Tuller bumps Phillips. I thought the ball left his hand, and then he did come down, and he was stationary on that. Obviously, NBA
I love this action here, right? You get a little bit of a fake screen and then slide across, let the guy turn his head, and then you find the little pocket, and they're going to be out of bounds, not on the shot there.
Only the third foul here on Pineview in the third quarter. Under 2 minutes left in this third. 38-26 on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Crimson largest lead, 12, and now an offensive foul call the other way on the Mustangs, and they're going to call that on Hokinson.
Yeah, I mean, I think now when you get a play like that, the officials are on high alert. They're going to watch that extra close. And so you have to be aware now for both teams that, if it's even close, they're going to try and balance it out.
Ojagba into the front court. Flips it to Ranson. Deep three in the air. His third triple in the third quarter.
And here's the mistake. Sands Reed went underneath the screen. With a shooter like that, you cannot go underneath. You have to go above that screen. You have to chase it off and make him put it on the floor.
Inside to Murdoch, guarded by Schmidt. They double him, and Murdoch fouled on a reach-in from the outside player. I think that's on Tuller.
And I think they're telling Sands now, hey, he's hot. He's got three now. You got to chase him off the three-point line. Going to be Crimson ball here. They're going to go for this spread where they kind of duck in there on the weak side.
Yep.
Pineview well coached, knows that.
Spot on. Lindquist out top with it. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Hits Phillips. Phillips lost the handle. Ball's loose. Ball's still loose. Murdoch gets it. And timeout, Coach Murdoch called from the bench.
Look, that's a safe possession by Travis Murdoch. That ball was loose. It was Pineview's ball, and he leapt onto the floor to grab it, saved the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs a possession.
How about the three-point shooting from Cooper Ranson, keeping the Panthers close? It's a Luke Udy at American Family Insurance timeout.
Well, okay, so watch this. So he comes over. It's a little bit of a rub dribble handoff, but Sands goes underneath, and you can't do that. You got to chase
Especially
Cooper
where
off
he'd
the
already
line.
hit two in a row, and he's red hot. That was a heat check deep. He hit that one.
Wow, those are layups for a guy like that. He's such a great shooter. But my point is that any shooter, the principle on defense is go over the top, or it's a foot-to-foot switch and hedge him out away from the line, not to it.
Well, I'm sure we'll see if they adjust and make that adjustment out of this timeout. Only 1:03 left in the third quarter. Again, Crimson leading 38-29 over Pineview here. Intensity thick in the field house tonight.
It looks like a little bit of a zone now here for Pineview. Great coaching adjustment. I love when people do this because you call a timeout and you're like, okay, we're going to draw up a play there in man, and then you come out in a zone and just throw them off. Crimson makes the adjustment right here. They're going to try and get the ball. 6 seconds left. Somebody's going to have to let this fly, though, Dev.
And as a leap and lean runner won't go. Ball tipped back out by Lindquist, controlled by Phillips, and they can now get a fresh shot clock. There's about a 7-second differential here between the game clock and the shot clock. 23 on the shot clock. Hokinson on a bounce to Phillips. Lob it high against the zone. Get his cutting Lindquist. Extra pass to Reed. Almost travel. Got a quick bounce down. Open set three for Phillips. Too strong. Rebound by Ethan Ott. Big E.
I mean, really, one possession got turned into three there. But if Pineview can make a basket here, they'll have a little bit of momentum, Devin Dixon, going into the fourth quarter here. You'll see Lindquist. They're going to run a double high screen here. Somebody's got to find Cooper Ranson and make sure. And do they find him? Oh, good hustle by Britton Phillips there. Boy, that was a close one.
Turnover there late. And it is within reach for Pineview. They did make a little surge, but didn't make up a ton of ground. They still trailed by 9. They outscored Crimson by just 1 in the third quarter, 38-29. Crimson on top in our Boulevard home game of the week when we come back It's the fourth quarter on the Fan Sports Network.
Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
At Findlay Subaru, we win for our customers. From the first handshake to you driving off the lot, our team runs the perfect game plan every time. Score your next Subaru at Findlay Subaru, 1453 Sunland Drive, on the saving side of the freeway.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Asphalt, we don't often think about it, but we use it every single day. Holbrook Asphalt's innovative HA5 product slows asphalt aging by 67%, making roads last longer and cost less to own. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
Oh, hello, Italian nightclub from Jimmy John's. Ciao, freshly baked bread piled with Italian-style meats. Hey, hand-sliced veggies. Am I obsessed with this sandwich? Yeah. So what if I am? Jimmy John's. Order online or on the app.
Back here, start of the fourth quarter. Crimson with the possession and a 9-point lead. Devin Dixon, Ben Lindquist. Packed house here. I don't know if you saw for our streaming audience, but the fans were jumping around. They had a big flag over the student section. They're getting rowdy here tonight. Inside, Murdoch bumped, fade away, got it! Travis Murdoch!
I'll tell you what, a great job of finding the pocket, and they're going to give him a technical now. Oh, and he better be careful because they're going to give him one more if he doesn't have a seat. And I think he was asking for a travel there. I don't know if we've got the replay here on that post-up, but a great job of finding. No, we're going to just miss it. I waited too long to. And they're going to give him a technical now. Oh, we're going to get that. No, I was looking for the possession that I think he was upset about. Was it looked like as Murdoch, they kind of pulled the chair out from underneath him, and I think he was asking for a travel. I think that's just been, Coach Amico, he coaches so hard.
Hasn't had a lot of technicals this year. It might be his first of the year, maybe his second. I'm not sure on that. That's the first one I've seen on a broadcast this year. Free throw from the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line from Murdoch is good. Your best two free throw shooters, Murdoch 78% and Lindquist 77%. And Trav hits them both.
This is what's hard here, Dev, is not only do you get the two free throws, but you had the ball. So now it gives Crimson an extra possession. So they could turn a one possession into 3 and 6 points at the start of the fourth quarter.
30 of the 42 points coming from Mack, Murdoch, and Phillips tonight. 11, 11, and 8. Phillips hasn't scored yet in the second half. Lindquist, pull-up elbow jumper, too strong. Offensive rebound, Leroy. And there's one of those keys to the game, winning that rebounding battle. Second chance points here as Murdoch drives in and scores it.
Great pass by Britton Phillips. Great ball movement overall. When Crimson moves the ball, they are hard to stop.
Trav's got 13 now in the game. And a foul.
I didn't even hear the whistle. It got so loud in here for a moment, I didn't even hear the whistle.
Leroy's third.
But wow, a 4-point run right out of the gate.
To push the lead to 15.
Yeah, to push the lead to 15. And boy, they had Jelani, but he was a little too quick on the action. I barely even had the ball.
Schmidt in the middle. Left-hand shot, good.
And they're going to need that from him down. Yeah, the old left-hand jump hook. They're going to need that down the stretch.
And Schmidt is only point number 5 on the night. Kind of a slow scoring night for a guy that comes in averaging 12.3 points per game.
Pineview's going to slip back into man-to-man here. They tried that zone for a few minutes. Crimson content with being patient here, Dev. I like that. As long as you're not getting down to the shot clock and just throwing it up something.
And a block by Ranson. He'll save it, no foul. Fans wanted a foul badly called there and didn't get it. Schmidt, transition 3 short, and good rebound by Phillips, who's flirting with the double-double again tonight. He's got 8 points and probably 8 rebounds on the game.
And this is where Crimson has got to continue to be aggressive. Like I said, you get down to the shot clock there, and it's hard. It puts pressure on the offense. As Lindquist is going to let one fly.
And Nets on fire, 3 for McKay. He's got 14.
Look, it's a great shot, but what people don't see is the pass out. It was such a great job by Murdoch of finding him when the double team came. He didn't have the shot. He found his teammate for the next one, and it goes down for the long three.
I really feel like Crimson's playing unselfish basketball tonight, Ben. They're really sharing it. A lot of assists on their made buckets. Ojegba still just has 2 points tonight, coming on that dunk to start the second half. Up and under, foul, shot won't go. Caleb Schmidt to the line.
And this is a good job of Caleb being patient. These are the 50-50 calls. You talk about the block charge, but once you get a foot in the paint, yeah, and I don't know. That's hard. I think Britton's frustrated, and I think Caleb's happy. Those are those things that it's hard when you kind of move him a little bit, but I'll give the ref the benefit of the doubt. He's down there.
Were the hands straight up, or did he lean him in?
I think he kind of moved him down low is what the ref was calling there. Those are hard. But look, I always like to say, we're up here 50 feet away. He was 3 feet away. It's just hard in those situations as he misses and gets his own rebound.
And Caleb Schmidt can't connect from the line, but he can rebound, and he scores the little leaner in the middle of the key.
And that's the cardinal sin of basketball, is letting the guy who shoots the foul shot. We're going to see it again here, right? Who has shooter? It was Leroy. So Leroy, it looked like Lindquist and Murdoch were pinching on Ojegba, the most athletic guy, and Leroy needs to slide over there and take the shooter. Right, your job is to get shooter. The other guy in the blocks is to get the inside position there.
Want to give a shout out to our Mountain Mike's Pizza Mountain Mover Award recipient. Today we got a nomination.
By the way, I love this award. What a great idea.
Mountain Mike's Pizza in Hurricane, recognizing Brigham Kemp this week. Coach Stout talking about what his weaknesses are. He works on tirelessly to turn them into strengths. He said he's a joy to coach. Brigham Kemp, the leading scorer in Region 9, and I think he's third or fourth in all of 4A at 23 points a game.
I had a chance to coach this young man in the Adidas circuit this summer. We got back to nationals, and he was a huge part of that. He's unselfish, he's a cerebral player, and he has the heart of a lion. The kid just loves to win. Whether he's scoring or he's passing, he'll do whatever it takes to help his team get the victory.
They trap on the inbound. Ojegba gets a jump ball. It's high up.
And look, we talk about it. That's a bad part of town right there, Dev. We talked about this last year. You can't go to that corner. It's the easiest place to trap. And what happens when you can trap in corners is 2 defenders turns into 3 because you can use the baseline or the sideline to put added pressure. When you catch that, though, turn and get up the court and find an easier way.
We got a Flint Company's final. Hurricane has beaten Dixie tonight 53-43 as Ojegba is fouled on a deep 2. So one of the 3 teams that is in a 3-way tie going into tonight has lost. That's Dixie.
Look, I know Crimson's upset with this, but that's the call that I think McKay's been trying to get all season, and that is a foul. You have to let the shooter come down, and you have to watch the shooter, not the basketball. That's the ref's job out there. And on that one, I think that's a textbook foul, and the ref's got it right there. You got to protect shooters, especially when they're jump shooters and they're up in the air. My hat's off. Thank you for finally calling that shot.
And Ojegba misses the free throw. Jelani, 63% coming into tonight on the season, gets the second one from the Fabulous Freddy's free throw line. It's 47-35, 12-point lead, and a foul. Your thoughts on Dixie losing in the Tigers' den tonight?
I kind of smelled it coming because, one, Hurricane, they want a little bit of revenge. They lost to him the first time. And Hurricane just plays so hard. And if they can get a couple shots to knock down Stout, knocking down a couple, Gubler, guys like that, they are just so difficult.
And they weren't healthy through December. They kind of got healthy about the time they beat Crimson last Wednesday. And Easton back in transition. There's a nice bucket to push the lead up to 14. It's 49-35 Mustangs. Back's got 6. Tueller out top. Over to Ranson. He'll hoist, and Ranson will hit another one. Nets on fire. 3 for the assassin.
and just like that, Lindquist throws the baseball pass to the wide open guy, and that's the break the heart press right there. But Ranson, you got to chase this guy, right? You got to chase him off the line. He's too good of a shooter. 4 threes, and
in the second half.
Yeah, and he doesn't have any intention of stopping now. He'll keep shooting them, and he'll keep making them.
And Coach Amico says, green light, Coop, we need every one of them because we're still down by 13 with 4 minutes to go.
They do.
Murdoch Lindquist will slow it down. Smart to use a little clock here.
I'm okay with this as long as you're trying to make aggressive plays.
They do go into Murdoch to a cutting Leroy. Mid-range jumper, got the friendly bounce, and down it goes.
I'll give Trey credit. He's made a few mistakes, but he's played hard all night long. As Easton back almost gets a steal, they're going to say he did get it, but he was out of bounds when he collected the garbage. But I'll tell you, back to Trey Leroy. He's made a few mistakes, but the effort, the continued effort is what is helping that young man tonight.
15 for Murdoch, 14 for Lindquist, 8 for Leroy, and 8 for Phillips. Pretty balanced from the Mustangs scoring-wise tonight. Shot goes up, won't go, and we got a loose ball foul.
And I'll say this again. I'm going to give some credit out here again. They've not done a good job of boxing out, but 2 guys did their job on that, and that's why the ball, when it goes off and it lands on the court, you know somebody boxed out.
Long pass, Lindquist goes up high, grabs it with 2 hands like Jackson Smith and Jigba.
You're hoping so for 2 or 3 touchdowns this Sunday for your Sea Turkeys.
I'm nervous. Rams Seahawks Part 3. Here we go, the trilogy. Into the corner to back. East into the middle. Spin cycle, scores it. How about that?
He's really stepped up tonight. Much better shot selection than he had at Snow Canyon. And as a result.
And a block by Lindquist as Ransom was driving with the left hand. Here come the Mustangs. Lindquist transition 3, nothing but nylon. Mack hits another one. He's got 17. And defense from Lindquist leading to offense. Crimson is humming. They're up by 20. Take another look.
Well, Ransom comes down, acts like he's going to shoot it, gets him off balance, goes to his left. Lindquist, great recovery. Great job of Will Hokinson grabbing it, looking up the court. Ball only bounces twice in that possession, and Lindquist squares up. He's a great shooter when he's in rhythm, moving towards the hoop.
Corner, it's Tuller. Gets by Hokinson and scores it off the window. Good move by Tuller. Timeout Pineview. Coach Pat Amico wants to settle it down and draw up the defense.
58-40, Dev. 2:43 left here in the fourth quarter. A chance for Pineview to throw the press on. Knowing Coach Amico, he'll draw up a play here on offense for when they get it back, and he's going to hope for a steal here and a three-pointer or another easy drive like that.
Tuller's got 11. Schmidt's got 7. Ojegba's got 3. Ott has 2. And the Panthers being led by the three-point sniper, hanging with Mr. Cooper Ranson. He's got 16 on the night. 4 triples in the second half.
I love the jump shot. And I love Cooper Ranson's. His release is just so smooth. It's so quick. A lot of guys will drop it. A lot of guys take a lot of unnecessary movements. He just gets it to the shooting pocket, and he lets it fly with such precision and beauty.
Want to thank some of our great sponsors. Coming up, we'll be naming the Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. We'll hand out the Jersey Mike Sub of the Game. That's going to be tough tonight. And then, of course, we'll pick our Finley Subaru Star of the Game as Crimson leads it 58-40 with just a couple minutes left.
But Dev, with 2:43 left, 58-40, this is not over, right? You've got to make sure that you don't leave any openings for this Pineview team because they can shoot the 3 and they have the athleticism to get those steals and finish. So got to take care of the basketball here, got to be decisive, got to meet the pass. We saw, as we also almost see a turnover there, we saw in the state tournament last year, the second round, where this press had so much damage done to Crimson.
They do beat the press, get it across half court, 2 seconds to spare. Lindquist now wants to burn a little clock. Pineview not going to foul yet. Drive, beats his defender. Left hand off the glass. Easton back having a night, young man.
He's been really exceptional tonight. Really done a great job of finishing, because sometimes when you don't finish those shots, it puts pressure. He's done a great job in all areas defensively.
Ranson for another one, not this time. But Easton back has 8 of his 10 points, and 6 have come in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, great job. A guy that hasn't started a lot this season. He's got a lot of playing time, but he comes in this game, and his impact is very well felt.
Yeah, and give credit to Coach Murdoch for going to the matchups he thought would work the best tonight, shaking up that starting rotation. Lindquist now, Murdoch comes, screens, and then tipped away from the backside, and then Murdoch or Lindquist, one of them called with a reach in there.
Yeah, great job by
Turnover.
Caleb Schmidt there. I call that a little bit of the Matador old man's church ball defense, where if you get beat, just reach around and flip it out, right? Because the offensive player, we were always taught, especially when you get to the Division I level, once you make that move past your defender and you get him on hip or butt, you've got to push it either in front of you or you have to cross over to the other hand, because anytime someone's beat, they're going to do the old reach around Matador.
Yep, try to make up for getting beat. And Ojegba to the line, and he sinks the first.
And that's these are free points, not just because they're free throws, but when they foul down there, no time comes off the clock. They get 2 free throws here, and then if it goes in, they can set up, as I don't know what Britton and Odd or West are doing down there.
Deep box out.
But they're able to then set up their press. But he gets the miss, and as a result,
and probably a foul not called there. Back got kind of bumped pretty hard there by Ojegba. 60-41, 1:35 to go. And now you got to probably play it out because there's only 15 on the shot clock. Crimson looks like they're on their way to a huge victory, and based on Dixie losing tonight, they would have solo first place in the region standings.
That's a great pass. Almost a great finish for Travis Murdoch, who hasn't done much wrong tonight, just misses a little bit one he wants back.
And Ranson, and the follow-up won't go. Ranson and then Ojegba tried to dunk it, couldn't collect it and flush it cleanly, and he's slow to get up.
Oh, I hope he's okay.
Looked like he might have got a flat tire.
Oh, yeah, okay, good. That's good. He's just so fun to watch. You just hate to see any more injuries.
Back again, no. Under 50 seconds to play. Crimson by 19, and they're going to improve to 6-2 in Region 9. Saved Summer. Oh, no, they say he stepped on the half-court line.
And he did. I actually got a good look at that one. It looks like Ojegba's limping off. I don't like to see that, but I think at this point, Coach Amico's going to just make sure that he's okay. I like that. This one under a minute, 44 seconds, 60-41. This one is finally over.
Region 9 is utter chaos right now. I mean, Pineview beating Dixie, then Hurricane gets Dixie. Now Crimson, who had lost 2 out of 3, gets Pineview, and there's a lot of games still, meaningful games down the stretch. Ott, hard drive, bumped by Murdoch, and they call the foul with 19 seconds left.
I like the decisive move down there. I like the attempt to finish. That's one he wants back, too. Just get that baby up on the glass.
Got another final brought to you by Flynn Company. Snow Canyon has beaten Cedar 77-45. Snow Canyon is humming.
Snow Canyon, because not only do they play hard, they're well coached, and they have guys that they've had a couple down years since Owen Mackey left. They've got a little something to prove.
Mack trying to fire up the crowd a little bit. Wholesale substitutions. The crowd letting the Mustangs hear it as they protect home court and will leave tonight 6-2, solo first place in the Region 9 standings. And it'll be really interesting to see how high they jump in the RPI.
Well, they beat the number 2 team in the state twice.
Yeah.
I don't know why head-to-head doesn't matter, but it is what it is at this point. I love this though too. I hate that it ended up being a little bit of a bigger score here, but look, I've been in some of these games. As a sophomore and a freshman, I was the 30-30 guy, right? I got in when the score was up 30 with about 30 seconds left. And so you love to see some of these guys who haven't had varsity experience get in, get that letter, and maybe get a couple random shots off. I don't know, probably not with 17 seconds, but.
Moody, is that Moody at the line?
Yeah, we're having to go a little deeper here because we got, other than Cooper and West, pretty much all of these guys are bench guys.
And bucket good for Moody. And the Mustangs can dribble out the
crowd
clock.
Wants them to fire up a 3, and they're saying go shoot it, but Coach Murdoch's saying do not shoot it. Don't listen to these guys on the bench. They don't know what they're talking about. And Murdoch, they're saying, come on, Murdoch, let him shoot it. I love that. That's a team that has some good chemistry right now when they're rooting for the guys that have been supporting them on the bench all season long.
All these teams, the behind the scenes, the work ethic and practice, you got to have good guys.
Yeah, look at the bench here. They're like, shoot it. Look right here, and Murdoch's like, no. Yeah, we don't shoot that.
No, the game was over. And good news, everybody, the Holbrook Asphalt Big Score dessert is in effect tonight until the St. George Yogurtland close. You buy one yogurt, load it up, the plain tart, I like the cheesecake cubes and some strawberries, and then the second one, equal or lesser value, is absolutely free Holbrook Asphalt. The leaders in HA5 are paying for it. Ben, give me a couple quick thoughts on this one. This feels like a big win. It was a packed house tonight, and the Mustangs win by 17.
I think really what hurt Pineview, because I actually thought they came out in the third quarter, Devin did such a good job, but Crimson was able to respond every single time. So they executed more offensively in the second half. I mean, look, they scored 16 points in that first half. They end up with 43, but what hurt them were some of those effort and second chance opportunities that Crimson was able to get. Twice in that second half, they turned one possession into 3, and when you think about that, that's like 8 to 10 extra points that they were able to get, which should have been just maybe 2 to 4 points. So I thought that third quarter, they made the adjustments offensively, but defense hurt them, and I'll give a lot of credit to Crimson. They moved the ball. You said it in the second half. They played unselfishly, and when they play unselfish, they have all the weapons. I think they've got the best talent in the region, and it was on display tonight. But I think when Coach Amico watches this game, he's going to say, we just didn't do the little things, and we missed so many easy shots. I think that really, when you look back and you rewind the tape, I think that's what he's going to be sick to his stomach about, because I know he watches film 2 or 3 times tonight.
Yeah, and Coach Pat Amico, they're still right there. They got some big games coming up. This is not a catastrophic loss. They would have controlled their own destiny like Crimson now does for the Region 9 championship. And I don't care what anybody says, RPI, how you seed. I still think there's a lot of pride in Southern Utah basketball on being the Region 9 champion.
It should matter.
And people don't want to share it. They want the outright. You know, the top 5 teams, they all want a piece of it. Yeah. And there's 5 teams that could still mathematically win the Region 9 title.
Well, and we said it. Hurricane just put themselves right in the thick of it, because now they're 5-3. Yep. And they still get to play Crimson. They have
the same record as Pineview now, and Dixie. So they move up to a tie for second. Yeah. And Snow Canyon is now 5-3 because they beat Cedar
How about
tonight.
That? So I'm sitting here saying, oh, yeah, it's a 3-horse race. Guess what? If Crimson's not careful, it's going to be a 5-horse race to close out the season. And a great job. And back to those region championships, they do mean something. They've got to mean something. Anytime you can raise a trophy, anytime you can put something in the halls of the school, that's got to matter for culture. That's got to matter for momentum going into the state tournament. And it's got to matter for legacy for the guys that leave the school.
How many region championships do you have?
I got 2.
2 at Pineview High School.
I got 2. It was, let's see.
95, 96?
94, 95, 95, 96. And we should have won it my senior year, but we struggled and not struggled. We lost a couple of games. Dixie got it, and we should have gone 3 straight, but we didn't.
Yeah. But you remember those region championships.
Absolutely.
You cherish those region championships.
Yeah, we used to, it was at Pineview. We used to have the shirts that said, go get the scissors. Coach Lynn Christensen, who I hadn't had a chance to mention tonight.
Scissors.
He would talk about going and getting the scissors. He was not a flashy guy, but when we won, that was his thing. That was his way of saying, hey, better recognize we win championships here. And he would get the shirt in the very back. It would say, go get the scissors. And when you win 2 in a row, Devin, it says, go get the scissors again.
Hey, it doesn't get any easier, but Crimson now 6-2. They play Dixie next Wednesday. And how about Pineview going to the Tigers Den next weekend? So 2 more huge
heavyweight bouts every Wednesday and Friday, and also a couple of Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays.
And Snow Canyon hosts Desert Hills, and Desert Hills is, I know they're 2-7 in region, but they've been playing everybody tough. And so 3 really, really good games next Wednesday night. Should be exciting.
Yeah, and Crimson will have a chance to go scout all of them if they want. And then they'll meet up with the Flyers over in the hangar for an explosive and just heavyweight bout on Friday night. Of course, we're going to be all over it next week on the Fan Sports Network.
Yep. We will have that Dixie Crimson game next Wednesday. And then we will have on Friday, I believe, I'll have to check the schedule a week away. We'll get that for you when we come back, because we're going to clean it all up. We're going to hand out some awards, get you the final Scooters Coffee stats here in our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry postgame show after a quick timeout. The final, 60-43, Crimson has beat Pineview tonight.
Oh, hello, Italian nightclub from Jimmy John's. Ciao, freshly baked bread piled with Italian-style meats. Hey, hand-sliced veggies. Am I obsessed with this sandwich? Yeah. So what if I am Jimmy John's? Order online or on the app.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
Handel's Homemade Ice Cream is now open on River Road by Sprouts.
Come enjoy 48 flavors made fresh daily.
Cones, sundaes, shakes, and quarts to go.
Handel's Happiness Served Daily on River Road.
From bold statements to subtle compliments, Wilkinson's House of Lighting will help you more fully enjoy all the different spaces in your home. Find us online at shopwilkinsons.com or come in and see what's new. 88 East, 1160 South, just off Main.
Flynn Group plays to win. From commercial to residential projects, we deliver the total building envelope. Roofing, glazing, and architectural metals. Championship quality every time. Flynn Group, we've got you covered.
At Findlay Subaru, we win for our customers. From the first handshake to you driving off the lot, our team runs the perfect game plan every time. Score your next Subaru at Findlay Subaru, 1453 Sunland Drive, on the saving side of the freeway.
Your child's sports journey starts with the City of St. George Recreation. From their first steps on the court or field to becoming a star player, our youth sports programs are here to develop talents and teamwork skills. So get out and play. Check out all the sports and get signed up at sgcityrec.org.
You pick, dude.
I would go Easton back. He never's got it.
Sure. Let's give it to him. Oh, we're back. Hey, we're sitting here talking
We're
shop.
sorting out awards. Ben and I are like...
We got the ballot box open. We're trying to figure out, hey, who do we give it to for this Crimson team tonight?
Here's the thing is, you look at the Scooters Coffee stats, and Lindquist leads the way with 17, but I think there was a sequence there where he's going to make the Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker play of the game. And so then I'm like sitting there, is it Murdoch or is it Easton back? Easton ended up with 12 points tonight.
Yeah, and really timely layups that just took the pressure right back off Crimson. When Pineview made something happen on offense, he comes down on offense himself and just makes a play that it's pressure relievers, right? It's like the steam pot. You got to have that top that just lets all that pressure out.
This is the Johnson Pediatric Dentistry postgame show. See why so many parents choose Dr. Cody for their kids' dental needs. For new patients, the exam, the clean, the x-rays, one low price, just $99. Book your appointments today at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry. All right, let's get to the awards. As we do so, we'll get some final statistics. Let's do our Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker play of the game. Here it is. A block on one end, leading to a three on the other end.
You get down to the shot clock there. This is going to be the kick out. Sorry.
The kick out for three. There you go.
That's a big shot there, too. The one I was thinking of was the one where Cooper Ranson drives to his left. Lindquist raises up, blocks it, goes down, and then hits the three off the pass from Will Hokinson. That was another great play as well.
Yeah, take your pick. I like that defense leading to offense, but the shots were made. Here it is.
We did get it.
Look at Tara Atkin, our producer.
My goodness, not surprised.
Okay, this is Ranson.
There's Ranson's three.
If you are going to give out a Findlay Subaru star of the game to both teams, Cooper Ranson was the guy for Pineview tonight.
Absolutely. He shot it so well, and you just kind of wonder, man, if he wasn't off the court there for that 7 or 8 minutes, maybe he gets the engine started a little sooner. But I really thought, we'll get to the other squad there too in a second, but I really think, Coach Amico did a great job of executing right out of the gate offensively, right? What Crimson did an even better job is they countered it. They matched them basket for basket. They felt like they scored more in the first 2 minutes of that quarter than they'd scored in the first half. And what the difference was is Crimson was able to sustain it. And we talked about that, where sometimes Pineview just can't sustain those runs for long periods of time. When they do, look at what they did against Dixie the other night, because the first Dixie matchup, they weren't able to sustain those runs. Dixie comes back, Collins Simmons hits the three, gets a dunk, and then suddenly Dixie's up by 5.
Right.
And tonight, they just weren't able to sustain those runs long enough, and Crimson finally was able to push that lead to where it was no longer overcomable.
And Crimson was really good from the get-go. They really led 98% of this game tonight. We have another highlight. Let's take a look.
We're going to roll the dice.
Let's take a look
into the Holbrook asphalt machine. And let's see, I think this is... No, this is another Cooper Ranson. I'll tell you what, He's
16 points for Coop tonight.
Definitely the player of the game for the Pineview team. Now let's move over to the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs here, Dev. Look, the 17 by Lindquist is great for me. I thought he played exceptional tonight. Really the energy and the hustle and shot selection. Murdoch was steady Eddie. Boy, he did a good job of getting solid baskets, finishing at the hoop.
Finding cutters,
finding guys out of the double
I bet he
teams.
had 4 or 5 assists
I think
tonight.
you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. But the guy that stood out, the guy who was right into the starting lineup, that's hard, right? You're coming off
a little pressure on you to perform.
Yeah, because
make
essentially,
coach look good.
Yeah, essentially what the coach is saying is like, hey, look, we're going to give you a shot. And that can be a lot of pressure to, hey, well, if I mess up, maybe I'll never start again. He came in and just played great defense. He moved the ball, and he did a great job of basket cutting and getting into those lanes and finishing at the cup. Great job. 12 points may not seem like the Star Watch point total, but I think for what
5 above his season average.
I think for what he brought to the game tonight, it's Easton Back.
Easton Back is your Findlay Subaru star of the game. For Crimson, we'll go Cooper Ransom. For Pineview, Lindquist, defense leading the offense, that 3. That is your Appliance Wholesalers Plus playmaker
And
player
here's a
of the
great
game.
shot of Easton Back going to the hoop with the left hand finish. Again, we saw it. Pineview missed so many of those types of shots early in the first half that you just wonder would have been a different game. And the difference is Crimson made those shots. And I think, in a game like this, a rivalry matchup, a packed house, biggest crowd I've seen in the last couple of seasons for a Friday night basketball game in the region. And Crimson just answered the call tonight.
As tough as picking our star for Crimson of the game might be, it's even harder to pick the Jersey Mike sub of the game. Coach Murdoch did not have any bench points tonight, so you have to look at the hustle and some of the things that don't show up in the box score. And you got Big Al Ogden, you got Sands Reed, Will Hokinson. Those are the only 3 guys that saw minutes off the bench.
I'm going to throw an executive decision in here, Dev. I'm going to go for Trey Leroy because he hasn't usually started. He gets the call tonight. And so kind of a bench guy that is starting.
4.6 points per game coming into the
night.
Yeah,
and he comes in, he gets 8. He gets the emphatic steal to the dunk.
Yeah.
He comes down here.
I love that dunk.
He gets a couple of chippy ones that is able to finish. And really, he did a great job tonight. He made a few mistakes, and every time he did, he countered that with an effort play.
Yeah, I agree. Good call. Troy Leroy, we see you, buddy. You are our Jersey Mike's sub above the rest. Get it Mike's way.
Get it Mike's way.
Jersey
My gosh.
Mike's.
How do I even make it through a broadcast? We're talking about yogurt. We're talking about ice cream. We're talking about pizza. We're talking about Great Harvest bread. And then you got to say, oh, hey, Ben, you got to get over to Jersey Mike's because they close in 10 minutes and you're 11 minutes away.
That's right. That's going to kind of wrap things up. But, Ben, you said something that resonated with me right at the beginning of our broadcast. You said, for some reason, there's just some good matchups and there's some bad matchups. And for some reason, this Panther-Crimson matchup is advantage Crimson. And Pineview has now lost 2 to them. And this is a good Pineview Panther basketball team. And the thing that I might have been most impressed with is the way they slowed down Jelani Ojegba tonight because he's almost averaging a double-double.
Yeah.
And he's held to 3 points tonight.
I think when he looks at the tape, it's hard to make a comment that I'm about to make. When he watches the tape, he's going to see that he only slowed himself down tonight. But Crimson did do some good things. They were in the gaps more. They did a good job of keeping him in front, with the exception of that one where the whole left or right side of the court opened up and he went down, throws it down. But I think,
and I thought that might get him going.
Yeah, I did too. I thought, he is just so explosive and athletic. I think, Coach Amico is going to want to find some more ways to get him into spots. He's won a couple games just on getting him in the block. I might have tried to post him up a little bit more tonight, not to give him any hints or tips or coaching, critiques. But I think when a guy like that's off, you got to find ways to get him easy baskets. But I think tonight Crimson did a good job with the overall gapping and keeping guys in front defensively. Can they do that the rest of the way? Can they do that against a Brigham Kemp and Hurricane? If they can, I like their chances to repeat as region champs.
How about a look at our standings now after tonight's games? The final scores, again, brought to you by Flynn Companies. They've got you covered. See what they can do for you at flynncompanies.com. Cedar falls to Snow Canyon. Snow Canyon goes 2-0 this week. Beat Crimson Wednesday, beat Cedar tonight. Wow. Hurricane had a bye on Wednesday, but get a big home win in the Tigers' Den. They beat Dixie tonight. And Crimson beating Pineview means Crimson is all alone 6-2 atop the region standings. Now you've got Pineview at 5-3, Dixie at 5-3,
Hurricane.
Snow Canyon and Hurricane also at 5-3. We have a 4-way tie for second place.
And again, forgive me for ever saying that it was going to be a 3-horse race. You know, we thought that maybe before the season, and we both liked what we saw from Hurricane and from Snow Canyon when we saw them play in the summer, when we saw them play early in the season. And look at this. It's not a 3-horse race. It's a 5-horse race, and it's going to be an exciting finish to the season here now in Region 9. I can't wait to see what happens the next 2 weeks. You know, guys like Brent Rao, you know, guys like that who are big-time Region 9 fans, they've got to be on the edge of their seat going, what are we doing? We're doing it right here on the Fan Sports Network. You're going to see all the action. And then when you don't get it, you can tune into the Fan Sports Network in the morning and get the full recap. We got Tara, we got Devin, we got Paulie, we got the whole crew. We're going bananas here in the mornings and on Friday nights.
Yeah, check out our new Southern Utah Sports Report podcast as well on the Fan Sports Network.
Yeah.
Trying to keep you
Region
up to
9
speed.
recap on St. George News.
Real quickly, a look ahead to our broadcast schedule tomorrow. Normal program all day, but 6:45 tomorrow night, pregame show. Rod Zundel will kickstart our pregame coverage, and then you and I will have the call
we're
on
back.
the Fan.
We're back. I got to save
Tech
my pipes, go
and
drink some honey, and rest the pipes for a big night tomorrow. As we're going to be there at Burns Arena for the rivalry. We go rivalry to rivalry, baby.
Yeah, we do, and that'll be tomorrow night. Until then, you guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to our Boulevard Home Game of the Week. This has been the Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. By the way, if you saw highlights tonight, if you're driving home from any of the games, we want your Jimmy John's highlights. Submit them to us on the fansportsnetwork.com. If we choose your highlight, we are going to give you a $100 gift card to Jimmy John's. And if you're voted highlight of the month from all the highlights in the month of January, your whole team is going to get subs for the squad, compliments of your local Jimmy John's. So get the cameras rolling. Help us get these highlights trending and submit your home videos when you see great sports around town. Send them to us at thefansportsnetwork.com. That's going to do it for us. The final 60-43 as the Mustangs win by 17 tonight over the Pineview Panthers. For Ben Lindquist, Tara Atkin, for everybody watching and listening, we'll see you next time for more exciting Region 9 basketball. Good night, everybody.